The next evolution of the hugely popular Raspberry Pi Pico microcontroller is here. The Raspberry Pi Pico W adds onboard Wi-Fi, making it perfect for creating IoT devices. In 3 steps, I'm going to teach you how to create and deploy a simple web app so you can learn how to control your Pico W remotely. The app will be a simple online app with a single button that makes the LED of your Pico flash. We'll build the web app with Anvil, the platform for building web apps with nothing but Python. For the first step, we'll start by creating the Anvil app that will wirelessly control our Pico. We'll go to anvil.works/build and create a new blank app. Click the name of the app at the top of the editor and change it to Pico App. Next, let's enable the uplink. We'll use the uplink to connect to our Pico. Click the Add Features button in the editor's sidebar and select the uplink. Next, we'll click the Enable Server Uplink button. Copy the uplink key. We'll be using this in a Python script on our Pico later to establish the connection between our app and the Pico. Now the uplink is enabled on our Anvil app, let's move on to step 2 and set up our Pico. To set up our Pico, we'll need to install the Anvil firmware. To start, we'll hold down the boot cell button on the Pico and plug it into our computer. Release boot cell once the Pico's drive appears on your computer. Then we'll download Anvil's Pico firmware file. There's a link to this file in the video description. Once it's downloaded, copy the file onto the Pico's drive. Our Pico will reboot once the files are copied over. Open the Pico's drive and edit the boot.py and the main.py file. In the boot.py file, edit the Wi-Fi connection credentials to match your Wi-Fi network. Then, in the main.py file, underneath the import statements, add the uplink key we copied earlier. The main.py is where any functions you want to run on your Pico device are stored. As a default, Anvil's main.py file for the Pico includes a Pico_fn function. It's a simple function that makes the light on the Pico flash and demonstrates that you can pass Python objects from your Anvil app to your Pico. The anvil.pico.callable decorator lets your Anvil app know that this function is available to call from the web. The Pico_fn function is the one we'll be calling from our web app. Save both boot.py and main.py. Reboot the Pico to save the updates by ejecting the disk and reconnecting the Pico. The Pico will flash a few times to indicate that it's connected to the internet. Let's go back to the Anvil app we created earlier. In the designer, we'll drag and drop a button into our app's form, we'll change the text to flash the lights and style it by changing its role to primary colour. Next, we'll add a text box and set its type to number. This will let users of our app input a number and pass the data to our Pico. Double-click the button in the designer. This will add a function to our client-side code which will be called every time the button is clicked. Inside the function, let's call the Pico_function, which is inside our Pico's main.py file. We'll pass our Pico function the number the user of our web app enters. Now we've got the functionality sorted, we can deploy the app online by clicking the Publish button in the top right of the editor. Let's select the Add Public URL and change the URL to something meaningful. If we navigate to the URL we chose and press our apps button, the LEDs on our Pico will now flash. And that's it. We now have our Pico controller connected to the internet with a deployed web app that controls it. Anvil is free to use. Head on over to anvil.works today to get started. If you found this video useful, please leave a like and subscribe for more Anvil content.